that regains a place of honor in the committee of great nations. These are the words of Honorable Atal Bihari Vajpayee, former Prime Minister of India. Good morning to this magnificently glorious day. The galaxy of intellectuals, honorable guests, benevolent teachers, respected parents, and beloved students. Namaste to all. Welcome to the inaugural function of our Adult Tinkering Lab. Before we start with the formal function, let's watch the curtain raiser. Let's begin the program by invoking the blessings of God Almighty.
दीपज्योति परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दन दीपो हरतु मे पापम् दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते 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 दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते.
May I now invite our principal, Srimati Parvati E, to deliver the prologue to this program. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Kala. Namaste and a warm good morning. My hearty greetings to all present here. It's my proud privilege to have so many special people with us on this wonderful, beautiful, and auspicious day. Today is the day when we open a new space for the children, not just my kids here at Eroor, but to the children of the neighborhood schools too. This day is again very special. Today being the National Youth Day, the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, we take this very important step forward in opening this new vista of self-development of our children. Those not so familiar with Swamiji's life or with Vedanta may wonder how religion and science can go hand in hand, and more importantly, how a monk can be even more remotely connected with science and rationality. In the good read on Swamiji, The Monk as Man, The Unknown Life of Swami Vivekananda, we see Swamiji awakening India's masses to its rich philosophical heritage and stressing on the importance of scientific inquiry. Paucity of time forces me to mention only the very important ideas Swamiji related to science. Swamiji's interest in science and scientific temper was huge. His contributions continue to influence us as we move on the arrow of time. During his early days in America, Swamiji moved around Chicago World Fair, appreciating the marvels of modern science. Synthesizing his understanding of the role of science in the making of the India of future, he has later said that we want Western science coupled with ancient Indian ideals. He had opportunities to meet Professor Max Muller, Paul Deussen, William James, Jamshedji Tata, Jagdish Chandra Bose, and many others on the Indian front too. He was invited home by Hiram Maxim, a great technocrat and the inventor of machine gun. The cake, however, goes to Nikola Tesla when it comes to Swamiji's tryst with science. Tesla, we all know, was an equal inventor as Edison and a highly successful engineer who is responsible for the present day AC electrical supply system, apart from many other contributions. Tesla was deeply impressed by Swamiji's presentation of the Vedic view of creation, according to which energy acts upon itself to create matter. Swamiji firmly believed in the unified single force behind all the forces in nature. Let's all remember that when Swamiji was talking about all these, Maxwell's equations linking electricity and magnetism and Joule's linking of heat with motion was newly born, and Einstein was yet to come on scene to link many other things. Therefore, today seems to be the most suited day for a beginning like this. With the new technologies making its presence in the ever-changing world that we live in, our duty as educators is to make sure that our students are equipped to create solutions for tomorrow. Only if they have an innovative and a problem-solving mindset will they be able to come up with the technology-driven solutions. With a vision to cultivate 1 million children in India as neoteric innovators, Atal Innovation Mission started establishing Atal Tinkering Laboratories, ATLs, in schools across India. The objective of the scheme is to foster curiosity, creativity, and imagination in young minds. Our story started with a special interest and initiative shown by Srimati Nirmala Venkateswaran, the formal principal of the school, in setting ATL in our campus. We were one among the 1,500 schools selected in 2017. In 2018, the documents were updated, and in September 2019, one-time establishment cost of rupees 10 lakh and operational expenses of rupees 10 lakh for a maximum period of 5 years. And from then on, in October 2019, with a view to give a substantial boost to the innovation ecosystem, we plunged ourselves to set the lab. The lab provides our students the opportunity to handle and use the tools and equipments, thus fostering inventiveness. They are also provided with a chance to exchange knowledge and learn from one another through regional and national level competitions, exhibitions, workshops on problem solving, designing, and fabrication of products, attend lecture series, and so on at periodic intervals. ATL at Eroor provides the learners the requisite impetus to work with the necessary gear and apparatus to grasp the concepts of STEM, a blend of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This workspace that we have set will let young minds give shape to their ideas through hands-on experiences on do-it-yourself mode and develop their skills. Young children will get a chance to work with tools and equipments to understand the concepts. ATL has educational and learning do-it-yourself kits and equipments on science, electronics, robotics, open source microcontroller boards, sensors, 3D printers, and computers. We have also seen to the facilities, which includes space for specific discussions, video conferencing, and workstations to tinker and innovate. With curiosity in mind and technology in hand, our children will turn to be potential job creators and solution providers of tomorrow. Thus, we will succeed in creating the new vibrant India. I take this opportunity to thank our chairman, director, the Kendra committee, the education and research wing, former principals, the principals and vice principals of our sister concerns, teachers, parents, well-wishers, and students. Thank you and my pranams.
Thank you, Parvati ma'am. Now it's time to visit the Adult Tinkering Lab of Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Eroor, a place to innovate and inspire.
The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible. Every child has the potential, the curiosity, and the eagerness to learn. Aiming to provide a platform for the young minds of our country to harness their power of thinking and innovation, Niti Aayog has initiated a unique program, the ATL Tinkering Lab. The ATL at BVM Eroor aims to provide a workspace where young minds can give shape to their ideas and learn innovation skills. Built with a modernist design approach and cutting-edge facility, the ATL is located within the main campus of the school. The lab has been set up keeping the key elements of being open, flexible and safe as the core guiding principles. Properly ventilated with doors and multiple windows, it has customized, flexible and easy to use workstations that provide the right space and the environment to tinker and innovate. Furnished with modular and movable furniture, the lab facilitates better collaboration and teamwork. Equipped with a 3D printer, the lab provides new generation technologies like IoT, 3D designing and many other DIYs and robotic projects. The lab has various zones such as drilling zone, mechanical zone, robotic zone and electrical zone, well equipped with significant and essential equipment, thus catering to divergent and innovative minds of BVM Eroor. Welcome to the ATL of BVM Eroor, an ambience that fosters imagination and creativity, an arena to experiment and innovate, and turf to realize one's innate skills.
I hope you all have got a foretaste of our ATL. Next, I request Srimati Baby Savitri, Head of the Department Chemistry, Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Eroor, to deliver the address of welcome. Miss, please.
Thank you, Kala. When learning is purposeful, creativity blossoms. When creativity blossoms, thinking emanates. When thinking emanates, knowledge is fully lit. And when knowledge is lit, economy flourishes. Great scientific minds are shaped early by unforgettable experience and some miracle moments. Namaste. and a warm good morning to one and all. Today is the much awaited day for all of us, a day we have all been looking forward to. We are gathered here to be a part of the inaugural ceremony of the Adult Tinkering Lab of Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Eroor. It is indeed a dream come true for the students and teachers alike. An initiative that is truly going to change the life of the coming generation. Moving on to the job interested to me, on this auspicious occasion, we have with us an eminent personality in the field of education, Honorable Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Dr. Rajashri MS. Starting off with a BTech in computer science, she has headed an institution that focuses on computing and IT based academics, research and development with a strong industry focus, and promotion of entrepreneurship initiatives. She has also shown special interest in large scale software system design and architecture. She is an active academician, researcher with a Doctor of Philosophy focused on computer science and engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. She was a professor at various colleges in the country before she took up the role of Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university. I feel extremely happy and privileged to welcome Dr. Rajashri to this function. Our chairman, C.A. Venugopal C. Govind, a very respectable and dynamic personality, has always been in the forefront, infusing our institution with innovative and progressive ideas. His strong support has always been our strength and motivation. It is my pleasure to extend a cordial welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I also accord a warm welcome to Dr. Vijay Kumar Ambat, Kendra Committee member, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi Kendra, whose presence makes all our endeavors eventful. A hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
I take this opportunity to welcome Sri K. Shankar Narayanan, Honorary Secretary and Treasurer, and other Kendra Committee members to this function. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Srimati Meena Vishwanathan, Academic Consultant, Shikshan Bharati, and Srimati Jaya Jacob, Research Coordinator. Our education officers, Srimati Renuka Menon and Srimati Sukumari Menon, to this function. Let me also welcome Sri P.N. Apukutan, Chairman, School Management Committee, to this function. Srimati Parvati E., Principal, and Srimati Remya Das, Vice Principal, BVM Eroor, have been the twin towers on which rests the accomplishment of the school. A warm welcome to our dear Principal and Vice Principal.
Thank you.
We have principals, vice principals of our sister institutions with us, and also special invitees from various schools. A very hearty welcome to all. I take this opportunity to welcome the team members and facilitators from EOB Automation, this function. Let me also welcome all parent representatives, teachers, and dear students to this function. Once again, welcome everyone present here. Thank you.
Thank you, Savitri Miss. I have the honor of requesting C.A. Venugopal C. Govind, Chairman, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi Kendra, to deliver the presidential address. Sir, please.
Thank you, Kalamis. Namaste to all of you. A fine morning and great day to every one of you. We at the Kendra are extremely delighted that it has been possible for us, even during this difficult pandemic time, to inaugurate the second of the Atal Tinkering Labs in our institution. Madam Dr. Rajeshri, a very eminent scientist, a great technocrat, specializing in information technology, software, and all the modern emerging developments in the field of sunrise technologies, as we call them. And my colleague in the committee, Sri Dr. Vijay Kumar Ambat, an eminent scientist in mathematics in his own right, Madam Meena Vishwanathan, respected Madam Principal, all the educational officers, vice principals, teachers, parents, dear students. I am deeply impressed with the words of the inaugural or opening address, opening remarks, prologue as she called it, made by Madam Parvati. I'm also happy that she started by paying obeisance to the memory of Sri Vivekananda. As she rightly said, his life and mission have been so very important. I don't think anyone in the world has touched the young mind so brilliantly, so passionately, and so intensively as Swami Vivekananda had done in a very short span of his lifetime. As Parvati rightly said, he has delved into the nuances of religion, researched so much into all the Vedic aspects of the emerging science, and tried to combine his vision with his scientific temper and scientific thought and energize our young minds to the best extent that is possible. Religion is not science, perhaps, but religion takes its roots from the science. The basic science of humanity undoubtedly is the Vedas. Vedas are all compilation of research documents. They are not any religious teachings ever. If you glance through all the four Vedas, you will find that a large part of them consists of what have been brought out by years and years or decades of research by our rishis into all human aspects of human life, including nature, ecology, environment, space, all the powers that move the world, all the creations in the world, every aspect of human life have been researched for hundreds of years. And they have brought out scientific papers running into hundreds or even 1,000 or more. And these papers, research papers, constitute the basic documents for any scientific evolution. You find that any emerging science could be related to some aspect of the Vedic thoughts. So Vedas are science, ancient science, and when they're combined with advanced modern research, they become the most relevant applicable science and technology for the world. At this moment, I must first congratulate Madam Sunita, the principal of our Elamakara Institute, who inaugurated. It was whose vision that was responsible for us to set up the first tinkering lab. Tinkering lab, ATL Tinkering Lab under the ATL Innovation Mission in our school. Madam demonstrated very successfully how a lab of that nature could be immensely beneficial for our students. And because she succeeded so much, we shifted her to our largest school in Yemakala and gave her large many challenges to improve and bring up the school to be one amongst the outstanding schools in the country, if not in the world, and she is a dad. I'm also happy that she has also almost completed setting up of the third tinkering lab to be inaugurated on the 20th of this month. So first, let me compliment her for her initiative. I must also compliment Madam Girija, principal of our Girinagar school, for having taken up our tinkering lab in Girinagar school to great heights, following on the footsteps of her illustrious predecessor, Madam Sunita. As I understand now, our tinkering lab in Girinagar is recognized as the one among the best in the state and easily the best in Cochin, perhaps closely followed by that in Choi School. Many accolades and laurels have come to our tinkering lab in Girinagar School. Niti Aayog has recognized it with honors. Government of India has recognized this with the Inspire Award. Many institutions, technological institutions who have visited the lab have also appreciated the outstanding work being done by our teachers, the heads of the tinkering lab institutions under Girija ma'am. And large many students in all our 7 schools and also in neighboring schools have been utilizing the facility. And that was what was intended for. And in terms of outcome also, the lab has proved its mettle by our students who have undergone the experiences and experiments in the tinkering lab, winning large many prizes in many competitive events in technology conducted by many institutions. Therefore, it is a matter of great pride for us that we have such an institution already existing. And at this point of time, I must also compliment wholeheartedly the leadership and the drive and the initiative of Madam Girija, and very well supported by her ebullient, very competent, committed team of Madam Savitri. Is it Savitri who heads that?
It's Sarita.
Girija ma'am? Sarita.
Sarita.
Madam Sarita, yes, Madam Sarita and Madam Gia Thomas, who is the coordinator, and Madam Sarita is the head of the computer division department, and who have also in her own right won many appreciation for the good work she has done. So these duo, 2 of them have together in the technological side brought up the institution to great heights. So I must compliment on this occasion Madam Sarita and Madam Gia also for the good work done. Now, Parvati ma'am requires all our accolades at this point of time for having set up the institution so well, so soon. It's so heartening to see the various facilities that you have in the ATL Tinkering Lab, as you have now shown the visuals for us now. And I'm sure her own commitment and leadership are very explicit in her very confident words that she spoke this morning. Is illustrative of, you see, her passion also for ensuring that our students develop curiosity, as she said, creativity, and imagination that are all what are intended to be achieved by a lab of this nature. I wonder often why this is at all called a tinkering lab, because it is set up under the ATL Innovation mission. So it is all about innovation only, and why call it a tinkering lab? Tinkering is a casual terminology. In English language, as Madam Parvati herself and our English teachers, we know each word has its significance. We tinker with something in a very lackadaisical manner, in a very desultory manner, not without any specific focus or with any objective. So we tinker something, we tinker with an equipment, we tinker with a process, or we tinker with any object and all that. And, it's not supposed to serve any specific purpose. Tinkering. But that is not what a tinkering lab is supposed to achieve. It is full of focus, absolutely, and it is filled with purposes and objectives. And it has to succeed in the generation, culmination, achievement, and flourishing of new ideas. So it's not tinkering that way. But then why is it tinkering at all? Great eminent scientists have call it a tinkering lab. I was thinking about it. It could be because the young minds requires to be tickled, the brains requires to be tickled Probably the brains and the minds of the young ones also request to be tinkered a little bit. Tinkering means, you improve it a little bit, you refashion it, you reshape it, you repair it, some little things you do. So you need to touch upon or tinker the young minds to bring the best in them. The objective of all, as Parvati defined, of investing the young minds with the rare traits of curiosity, ingenuity, creativity, innovativeness are all to bring in them a design mindset. That is what is now required. The whole world is looking for designers. We are now moving from a mere designing to design thinking. I'm sure Dr. Rashri ma'am, eminent scientist, as we are listening to her, we are looking forward to listen to her. And she would agree that design thinking is not about designers per se, but it is all about everyone who wants to design anything, maybe art, maybe culture, maybe business, maybe commerce, maybe science, maybe technology, maybe innovation. You need to have a design thinking, and that is what, unfortunately, what we Indians lack. We do not have the creativity, we do not have the originality as such now. It's not as if we don't have, we have them in abundance. We had it thousands of years ago, at a time when no one, humans were moving around like nomads in the world. We were the highest in terms of our design thinking. But somewhere we lost that, and we have started blindly emulating. As Swami Vivekananda said, mere echoing of others, base imitation of others. Oh, India, where are you moving? He cried. So that has to stop. And design thinking has to set in. To have that, we need a design mindset, most important. A design mindset only can help in a designed thinking, a computational thinking, which has to lead to physical computing. We are looking for that. And that is all about adaptive learning also. Madam Sunita is passionate about all our learning systems to move into adaptive learning. And for that, our young ones need design mindset. We need to create in them. Design thinking starts with critical thinking. Every teacher now has to. That's why I've been urging all our science teachers. I wanted all teachers, science teachers, to be present today to listen to outstanding scientists like Dr. Rajshri and Dr. Vijay Kumar, who have exceeded, who have reached the pinnacle or zenith of success in their chosen fields. And we would like all our science teachers also end up as outstanding scientists. That's why I wanted all our science teachers to register for the advanced doctoral program. Whether we want in our schools or not, whether you should be PhD to be a HOD or a teacher in chemistry, physics, that's different. To individually compensate your qualities and your caliber, we all want you to take into doctoral research in every field. That would only develop in the teachers first the logical reasoning, which you will be able to impart in the children. The objective purpose of critical thinking itself is to take them to logical reasoning. From out of logical reasoning only, the designing and the programming can emerge. So what is thought to be achieved by all these technical labs are to design our young men to attune to programming and to program in a new innovative manner. And they should be able to make use of all the experiences they have from all walks of life, all fields of life, put them into experiments, hands-on experiments, and then find their own critical paths, critical modes, and research into that. And each one should emerge in his own way. And that is what we are wanting the young minds to achieve. And I'm sure that initiatives of this kind will go a long way. It's our objective to set up, let me tell you now, ATL tinkering labs in all our schools. We took the initiative immediately when we got one in Greenagar to have three. One in Eroor, we are starting now. I see great future for that. With the commitment from the Madam Principal and the teachers, quality of teachers that you have, I'm sure it will be equally successful as our Greenagar Tinkering Lab. And we have the one following at Elamakara School led by Madam Sunita. It will all be an outstanding institution. And very soon we will have one at Adarsha Vidyalaya also. And other three institutions, other three of them which are not having now, unfortunately because of space constraints. I was talking to Madam Mini, Tiruvangulam principal yesterday, how soon could we have a tinkering lab in Munshi Vidyashram? We want it very soon. And she said, sir, we have already identified the place in the old building. And as soon as the new building is set up, we'll move some parts which are now used for KG classes and all to the new building. And then the space in the old building will be ready. So very soon it will follow. And certainly I'm sure Vijay Lakshmi ma'am and Rama Devi ma'am also will take the initiative, apply and start on this very valuable initiative. As I said, we are not going to stop either at tinkering or at some any initial experiments or merely toying with the kind of equipments the vendors have given now. We will put our children to thoughts beyond all the barriers and contours. Sky is the limit for the young minds. We have not realized the potential of the young minds. We are slowly realizing that. So the emerging new India, which is going to conquer the technological world, probably in the next 15, 20, 30 years from now, we need to fashion or refashion or retune the young minds to be able to take up that kind of challenges. So every student of science, even students of commerce and arts, will have a lot to contribute in participating and experimenting in these institutions like our tinkering labs. And the management is willing and ready to invest hugely from out of our own resources in each of the tinkering labs. What the government has now given is only the initial start. We will not stop with that. We want each of the tinkering labs to be known no more internally as tinkering lab, but as innovation labs, as research and innovation lab to promote creativity, design thinking, research work of an advanced nature, and foraying into areas and arenas untouched, lying so huge. The horizons which research can conquer, which science can conquer, are unlimited. Therefore, let me wish all the very best to the second of our tinkering labs, which has been set up in our area school. And knowing the kind of competence, capability, commitment, dedication, devotion that our team there and our principal do have, I have no doubt this will be one of the most outstanding technical, technological, innovative, creative institutions in this part of the world. And I'm sure our children are going to learn a lot by listening to such an outstanding personality as Dr. Rajshri ma'am. Though I haven't personally met her and interacted with her, I have known a lot about the work that she has done. We are so very, very fortunate to have her first as the Vice Chancellor of the KTM University here. We also intend to interact with the KTM University to the maximum extent possible, both for the purpose of our technological labs like that. We are already started working with the Kerala Startup Mission, the NORCA, and such other institutions which are in the field of promoting advanced technology at the nascent stages. And KTM University has a lot, many to contribute. Our own Bhavan's Institute, Royal Institute of Management, BRIM, we are running a management course. We also would like to foray into technical, technological fields because we have operations management, we have management science, we have quality management, we have quantitative techniques, all being taught for the management students. And they do require considerable amount of technological support. We are looking for an outstanding professor in management education with a good grounding in the field of technological education, an MBA with the BTech or MTech if possible, in order to develop the management institution, also to guide them in little bit into the technical field, which the management student today needs. So for all that, we are happy that Madam Rashri has kindly consented to be with us and spend some time with our institution and our teachers and the students. Thank you, ma'am, so much. I wish this institution all success. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening and inspiring words. Thank you so much, sir. With immense pleasure, may I now invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Rajashree MS, Vice Chancellor, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, for the virtual inauguration of Adult Tinkering Lab and for the inaugural address. Ma'am, please.
Most respected President of the function and Chairman of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi Kendra, Shri C. A. Venugopal C. Guru, Principal Srimati Parvati, other faculty members, Srimati Devi Savitri, Head of the Department, Sri Ramankuti, Director, Professor Vijay Kumar Ambat, Director, Srimati Meena Vishwanathan, Academic Consultant, Remya Das, Vice Principal, then other principals, vice principals, faculty members, and staff of other sister institutions of this institution, my dear students, parents, and all well-wishers. A very good morning to you all. I am immensely excited on this wonderful day, on the National Youth Day, that we are opening up such a facility which will put no limits to the imagination of the young children who are there to rule the world tomorrow. So before I start my address, with all your permission, I declare the other tinkering lab of Bhavan Eroor open. Congratulations to the principal and team for opening this wonderful facility to the young children, which is the door to the innovation for them to contribute to the society with the knowledge and skills that they have. So we are all in a very very difficult or a challenging situation as educators. Personally speaking, from my side, I always try to redefine, reposition education when it comes to engineering and most importantly, higher education. So that is because we see tremendous advances around us, and we try to position ourselves in the right place where we are able to contribute and empower children with education. So it is also clear that the mere transmission of knowledge from one place to another, which used to be the norm for education, is no longer there, because children are exposed to all kinds of information, both structured and unstructured, and both curated and non-curated, all forms of information. And it is for them to figure out what they should learn, and they keep doing that as well. So it is in this juncture that our role as educators and the definition of institutions of education become significant. It is our responsibility that we should give them something that is not available elsewhere. So we need to redefine education and the institutions of education as something different. So these are some kind of collaborative spaces, some kind of work spaces, work environments. So that is where you have the facility that is open today, the other adult tinkering lab. So, see, for the last 1 or 2 decades, if you see the advances in technology, mostly we attribute it to internet and the development of the computing devices, the internet, and the ubiquitous computing as such, which is able to network systems together and then give any kind of information without any geographical boundaries. That used to be the kind of advancements in the last 2 decades, if we see. But today it is dramatically changing because we are with new technologies, sunrise technologies or cutting edge technologies, as we call it, like artificial intelligence, sensor based systems. So here we are into a paradigm shift in the advances also, where we are redefining the way we live, and it is very difficult for us to think a day without any such devices around us and without the services that these are providing to us. So it is for us to see what is how the children can be brought to that space where they can contribute. That becomes very critical. That means we are defining what are called, see, earlier it used to be, if you take the engineer's responsibility, we used to define engineer's job as, say, they used to operate with machines and systems, and they used to get data from machines and systems and used to evaluate the data or analyze the data and use this data for making systems further and making different types of applications or designing new machines for people, etc. Now it is again different because information takes the front seat, and we get abundant amount of information which an engineer need to analyze, and mostly machines themselves analyze this data, and some decisions which can be uh, automated and made in the machines are done by the machines itself. So what does it mean? We need to think of engineers' responsibilities as different, and we need to think of engineers' responsibility as something very creative and innovative. As the principal was putting it, those become important. Creativity, how you are able to innovate with the existing technologies, with the existing systems, with the existing knowledge that you have, how you are able to innovate. And where do we go and innovate? Yes, we have problems around us, and we need to give solutions to these problems, which is essentially improving the quality of life of people. So any design or any engineering artifact, if you take, it is designed by someone. If it is a machine, or if it is a bridge, or if it is a if it is an electronic device, or if it is a mechanical device, it is the design that is important. The chairman was opening us to that we are not giving adequate impetus to the process of design. Yes, that is very important. The design is the critical of any artifact that you make. So we listen to bridges that are poorly designed. We also listen to flats that are not properly designed. There it is not the design of the flat per se, but how exactly a complex, a building complex gels with the environment. So that is where design thinking comes in. And there we see that our engineering skills, our scientific knowledge, everything has to be properly included or integrated with the society and the other concerns, the natural concerns, the natural factors that we take into consideration, like if there is if it is a place which is susceptible to landslides, or if it is a place which has some natural water bodies aside, if the construction will affect that, and so on and so forth. So what does it mean? The knowledge that we are gaining from our studies, from our schools, from the branches of study that we learn, be it science or mathematics or humanities or social sciences or whatever, everything is interrelated and everything is interconnected. So that is where we, as problem solvers, you may be a scientist, you may be a doctor, or you may be a lawyer, or you may be an engineer by profession when you complete your studies. But when you look at a problem, you have to see all the aspects in the problem, and then you come up with a solution with innovations. That is where your capabilities are to be defined. So it is very difficult for us to have compartmentalized sort of knowledge creation. I am a pure chemist. So where is your chemistry going to be used? Where is the mathematics that you have learned going to be used? So we have seen a pandemic over the last 10 months or so. We are living with it. So whom are we relying on? We are relying only on scientists. We are relying only on medical professionals. We are relying on chemists, doctors, computational specialists who can come up with vaccine for us. How is this vaccine? How is this vaccine coming from? Where is it coming from? It is from the knowledge of the structure of the RNA. If it is getting mutated, then what is remaining unchanged, and how do you attack that part of it is which is remaining unchanged to come up with a medicine or a vaccine which can fight against the virus, which is again putting us in lots of troubles. So ultimately, the solution. So these are the kind of problems that we face, and the problems are to be solved by the collaboration of people or experts coming from various parts. You would have seen some interesting robots which have been created during the pandemic, the COVID times, which was able to keep social distancing norms, keeping the health professionals or health personnel away from the patients, in giving them medicines, in attending to them, and things like that. And it was required to check the temperature, which you could do from a distance. It was also necessitated to check the oxygen levels, which you could do from a distance. So how is this facilitated? This is facilitated because the advances in technology and the right use of technology to solve problems that people face, which improve the quality of life of people. And that is where we need to place our children, who are going to be the solution providers of the 21st century. So the way we look at solutions have been dramatically changed, as I put it earlier. So if you like automobiles, if some of you in this group would like automobiles and say that you will design innovative cars, and see, there are different ways of looking at it. A computer scientist and an expert in computer science will come and say, this is not a car, but it is a computer with wheels and the chassis and so on. And those comes only as secondary. So the way you look at it is whether putting computing and electronic devices into your automobile, or you're having a computer, which a sophisticated device which can communicate to the rest of the world, a computer which can communicate to the rest of the world, which is in the form of a car, which you can use for transporting from one place to another. You would have read about driverless cars. You would have read about surgeries which are being performed without the physical intervention of doctors, and you would have also seen doctors instructing through a device which is through a communication device, which is helping a doctor who is performing a surgery in some other part of the world. So this is the world where we live in. And with your tinkering lab and the facility that is set up in the school that you are learning, there is no limit to the imagination, and there's no limit to the kind of solutions you can give to people. And that is very important when we set up such facilities. So there is no specific straight-jacketed way of problems and solutions. We identify problems, we solve them, and we create innovations. Sometimes the innovation that you create will be so great that you will be able to employ 100 people in a company that you will be able to create wealth for the state, use wealth for the nation, etc. So we all live in a knowledge economy. You know what is meant by knowledge economy, where we say that the economic development of a state or a country or the world is determined by the knowledge that you have and it is the intellectual capital that you have, because the rest of the things come handy for you. See, you have the tinkering lab. There is no limit as to what kind of solution you can create from the lab, what kind of robot you can develop in that robotics laboratory, what kind of internet of things technology you can use for helping a farmer who is doing farming in a very remote village, and who is seeing that his crop is affected by some kind of pest, and he want to get an advice from an agriculture scientist sitting elsewhere in the world. Yes, you can be a solution provider for him. You can take the photograph and the infected part, you can use an Android device and send the detail to an expert. You can get the solution and give it through a small kiosk in a place where all the farmers have in a small village, and they get some solutions. And you also would have heard of the marketplaces that are open for farmers to take their produce products directly to the markets without any intermediaries, with the help of technology. So these are all the ways in which we are able to reach the other sectors like health, agriculture, then all other sectors, then generation of power, the sectors of energy. We know energy is something which is getting depleted every day, and then we come up with newer and newer forms of energy like solar energy. So in some village, it will be very difficult to get energy from the natural resources there, but elsewhere it will be produced in abundance. Then how can you have ways in which energy can be transmitted from one place to another through a large kind of grid? So that is what we are talking about when it comes to the distribution of energy. So all these resources, the water, all the resources, natural resources which get depleted, how can we have optimal generation and distribution patterns for this using the advanced technology like sensors, the internet, the distributed devices which can be deployed all over. So these are all very interesting things for young children like you to look at, and then that will open up newer and newer problems for you to work on. Now, coming to the tinkering lab, and it's not a good idea to have a list of experiments and doing it, but you open yourself and see to which problem can I use it. See, what we all talk about the carbon that is excessively getting generated through vehicles and the pollution that we face. How can we achieve carbon neutrality? How can we plant more trees? How can we keep track of these trees that are getting planted? How can we geotag something? You would have heard of geotagging, right? So we are putting some identification device in a plant and then keeping track of it. Supposing that every student of Bhavan's is planting a tree, and then keep monitoring its growth year by year, and then you're increasing the number of greenery in your school, then to the neighboring schools, then the schools of the district, then schools of the state, and then how it is getting, how you are keeping track of it. Then also we have, see, all of us are excessively, we are concerned about the pollution that is happening to the food products that come in. Like we all are fond of organic food products. Then how do we keep track of that? How do we put traceability into that? Suppose I go to a supermarket and then I show my device, Android device, and then see whether that particular pulse is being, which part of the world that is being cultivated. Everything can be brought there. You can even go to the place where it is created, the kind of fertilizers that is used for that. Everything can be tagged, and there are very interesting technologies that come handy for you to implement these solutions. So the future generation of children should be solution providers by using the advances in technology, and also by identifying the need of the society that we live in. See, we all were locked up in our homes during the past 10 months. Then we have seen that some of the schools were able to come up quickly with their solutions, the technology solutions for education, and their work did not get disrupted much. Some of the institutions which were able to be resilient to the pandemic were the ones who were able to respond to the pandemic first by first by not disturbing their services to the outside, be it hospitals or be it financial services or be it educational institutions. It is our preparedness to embrace technology that is what determines the success of an organization. It applies to government also. If all, imagine a condition if all the government offices and health department remain closed during this pandemic, would it have been possible for us to respond to the kind of difficulties that people faced all over? In our state itself, we have seen excellent examples of responding to the pandemic by addressing to the needs of the people, by addressing to the health needs of the people, other basic needs of the people, and by providing healthcare services to the people in a remote way by aggregating information from different places. And also the data that is collected from different places have been very crucial in determining or in making policies with respect to how long the institution should be kept under lockdown and things like that. So technology is all pervasive, and it is how you use it for the right purposes for rendering services, and that is what determines the use and success of technology, and that is how societies also prosper. So you will be defining, see, there will not be huge companies or there will not be huge organizations which will come and give jobs for you, but it is for you to create enterprises or create small enterprises which will grow to big organizations. That is what we see from the initiatives of the state also. If you see government of Kerala is giving lot of impetus to startups. The chairman was mentioning that you are already partnering with Kerala Startup Mission and Orca, where we are skilling people in different technologies, and those skills will empower you to come up with the right kind of solutions, the creative and innovative solutions for people to use, and these will be developed into newer and newer solutions. And if it becomes versatile in the place you live in, it can also be expanded to the district, state, and it can also be to the world. But one thing we need to understand is that the education, all the services, all the products, everything is available everywhere with globalization. And also when it comes to education, the talent is also benchmarked globally. What does it mean? The world is looking for engineers who can give best solutions for them. If it is a renowned multinational company, they do not look for India alone. They look for, see, where do I get cheap and best labor? That's what they look for, and that is where China is coming ahead. They have they are using excessively technology for their products. They're empowering their education and everything, if you have noticed. So it is, even though education and all this technology, everything is available in a global manner, how do we use it for the empowerment of the region? That is one aspect. And also, how do we compete with the rest of the world? That means, how do we compete with an engineer or a doctor who is coming from UK or United States? How that is how the companies benchmark your talent. And so you have to be regionally relevant, and also you have to be globally, you should be competent to compete with the rest of the world. So that is where we should place ourselves, and there is no other fundamental resource that can empower us than education. And you should remember that with all these skills, all these programming paradigms, all these tools available, all these robots, it is never complete. But you have to be a very fundamentally, you have to be a knowledgeable person. What does it mean? These are all not ways to escape from the fundamental learning of the subjects. Your first preference would be learning science, mathematics, and all the other subjects, and getting your fundamentals and your your marks, everything perfect, and then you build upon the rest of the skills. That only completes you as an individual. So it essentially means that tomorrow the tinkering lab is open and you spend all the time there building devices. So where is the fundamental knowledge that's coming? So your next level of development happens only with your education and the basic prerequisites that the education system is providing to you. So you have to be very sensitive about that. So the new things and the innovations that you do, it is not by compromising the basic degrees that you get and the basic efforts that you put into your education, but it should be beyond that. And that is where you have to place yourself. You have to be very serious in your academics, and then have all these as add-ons. And in early 2010 itself, there was a forecast that in STEM education, in every 2 jobs that are created in STEM education, 1 job is going to be in computing. Now in 2021, I feel that we should redefine that and say that STEM and C, you would have seen science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and then you put a hyphen and C, computing, which means that computing is also part of STEM education. And in countries like United States, UK, and all, they give adding equal importance to computing in their K-12 curriculum. So that is what we also need to look at. And now itself we see that new technologies and the advances are incorporated in the CBSE curriculum and all, but it should be put in the right perspective, and it is not by compromising the fundamentals. The fundamentals have to be adequately given, and on top of that, how you can give this technology as add-ons, because we can't be, if you learn one technology today, if you are trying to become an artificial intelligence professional, then another 5 years you see that all the things that you have learned will be available as tools for you, and it will be available as services for you. You don't have to do anything creative. So what is the fundamental thing? So you have to be keeping pace with the advances, for which you have to be a lifelong learner. The chairman has rightly put it. The most challenged people here are the educators. Me, I have experienced this because I did my undergraduate in computer science and engineering from 85 to 89, and hardly 20 to 30% of what we have learned is existing now in the curriculum, because it keeps on changing, and that is where we have to learn every day. And the doctoral studies that the institution is promoting as a philosophy will definitely come as a boom for you to empower yourself, because it is very important that we have to be going along with the children who are very digitally native, and we will be learning from them some of the things, because they are very native digitally, and they are able to assimilate and provide innovations in a quick manner. If you look at the cognitive, as teachers, you will be able to resonate maybe more than I can, because the process of the cognitive process itself is changing with these new educational technologies and all, and it is very important for educators like us to sit and figure out what exactly needs to be given, and how these brains have to be trained for better output from them, and how each individual can be empowered. And the thanks to technology, education is becoming very learner centric now. Learner centric in the sense, you have people with different kinds of learning abilities in the class, but in a class of 60 or 70 or 40 or 50, as teachers, physically it is difficult for us to learn all those individuals personally and teach them, where educational technology comes as a solution, where AI based solutions and all provide personalized learning avenues, where if it is teacher assisted learning, these systems will help teachers also to figure out the specific learning capabilities or difficulties of students, and accordingly pace the learning and all, which should all be used as very successful or very productive tools in the education process. So they have some systems, but it is not correct on our part to see that the solutions are existing and we sit back. It is for us to analyze and see how it impacts the studies of students. And I would suggest that in schools itself we should have a small unit which focuses on these, the technology enhanced learning avenues, and also the effect of these learning avenues on the performance of the students, on the mental health of the students. All these are something that we need to look at, because the innovations and everything come at a very fast pace, and we move forward along with that, but we should not compromise the basic abilities of the students, and then see how all these advanced techniques impact, and then go back and make course corrections. That is very critical for teachers like us. So it is not enough that we set up the lab and set the pace, but it is also important to plan the activities that are there in the lab, which has to be inclusive, I say. That is because if we put something like this, the very enthusiastic group of students, maybe the 10 to 20% of the students will be overactive and they will be using this, but we should also see that it is inclusive. All the children are brought to this, and that is possible only by having some academic exercises which comes as part of the curriculum as assignments or projects, where they do go to the labs and practice this, so that the learning becomes experiential, and these facilities are used. Maybe because you have a system which is like which is followed in all schools, which may not permit all these in the final exams and all, but internally you can devise some mechanisms to see that these are used, and it will be very interesting to have competitions like for children organized by themselves, and also putting people from elsewhere to identify some specific problems and coming up with solutions, where you can also involve people from industry and all, who will be able to take these ideas and help the students develop these ideas more than teachers can, and take it to the product levels. So that is very important, because whenever we give these sorts of product designs or experiments to the kids, the technology readiness is also important. That means from the theory to practice to the actual product design, it is a long journey, and that level of perfection, the whole life cycle from idea to product, that has to sink in their minds. So design for manufacturability, design for large numbers, design for usability. There are several principles that come in the design thinking subject itself, which will have to be incorporated in early enough in these young children, because that will help them to be perfectionists when they come to design. I would not agree with the chairman that we do not do designs. We are the best. We are the best in nationally. As a country, we are the best designers, but only difficulty is our designers are not sitting in India and designing for India, but our designers are sitting for multinational companies, and then they are the companies which rule the world. Any big product company, if you see, and you will only see Indians from IITs and other eminent institutions who have gone elsewhere, because the ecosystem would have been more conducive for them to give their contributions to those companies far better than India. But we are coming back with Atmanirbhar Bharat and other such initiatives, where the country is giving impetus, and a lot of funding is also there for designs and other activities like promoting innovation and research in institutions of higher learning, and also in schools like the Niti Aayog's AIM. There are several such other initiatives, and it is the basic responsibility of teachers like us to make full use of it, understand the philosophy of this, and then move with it. So there is a basic, fundamental philosophy underlying this mission and these labs, and that has to be that has to be understood by the educators, and that has to be properly conveyed to the students, and they should be given the other ingredients, as I said earlier, the mentoring from other research and development institutions and institutions of higher learning and industry professionals to take to a complete product. And there will be consumers for these products. The most important consumer can be the government itself. We have a lot of departments under the government struggling with various problems that the government is looking to solve, and the young minds can come with the bright ideas, then the future is theirs, and the future of our state itself can be redefined using this. We see large number of startups coming up from around Kerala. We have the Maker Village at Kochi, then the startup facilities in Technopark in Trivandrum and in several other places. When it comes, these are all, when all these infrastructure and facilities are created and deployed, who is to drive, who is to make use of these facilities and empower the state to the next level? Those are the young kids who are in schools now, and the future will be defined by these young kids, and it is there for all of us. So I'm very happy to see that the school and the teachers, the enthusiasm that the principal showed in her words when she gave the opening remarks, and the facility that is created, and the attitude of support that is coming from the leadership team, the chairman's words to empower the infrastructure, empower the individuals, and empower the connectivity, the network across people. That is what is very important. And remember, it is not individuals that make such successes. It is the collaborations, the networks, and you will also be able to reach out to bright kids who have graduated from your schools, who have studied in your schools and settled elsewhere. Let them come and talk to these kids once in a while. That itself will kindle a lot of enthusiasm in the kids, and thus we have to bring in an institutional culture along with the lab and the facility that is getting established today. We have the large number of technologies that are awaiting us. We would have heard of blockchain that is going to revolutionize the fintech, the financial technology institutions itself. Like, if blockchain is adopted by policy by the government, we can even imagine a nation without banks. So those are the kind of things that we look forward to. And any application for that matter, if it is the land records which are going from one person to another, then what are the transactions that are made, everything can be captured in a technology called blockchain, and there is no limit. Even if it is an education of a student. Let us take an example. One student is doing school studies and then going to engineering, and then he goes to some other universities, takes some credits, then goes to some other university and takes some credits, and everything can be put in one place, and then that can be added to his portfolio. So the way all services like education, healthcare, banking, insurance, the way land records, retail, everything is substantially being changed by the technologies, and the right policy interventions have to be there. And then the other side of it, the use of technology and innovations. So the ethics part of it, that is also very important. We are all aware that the cyber security aspects, so those are something that needs to be incorporated in children, and the excessive use of social media for purposes that are not very positive to the individual's growth. So the institution should also take care of all these effects and give proper counseling to the students. As teachers, we should sit together and discuss and bring in experts from this area like cyber security and the hazards of excessive use of internet and excessive use of social media, compromising their skills for creativity, then then putting hindrance to their creative learning abilities. All this also should be exposed, and we have large number of courses, online courses and all. You can even think of putting some experts and giving some lectures every week, which students should attend as part of their normal curriculum. These are all very critical, and we are looking forward to a very bright future, which is defined by these young kids who are using these tinkering labs to nurture the culture of innovation and creativity from the school itself, and then they will define the future for themselves and for us who find it difficult to keep pace with the advances, even with all the computer science and everything. If when a new device comes, it is the young kids, the kids in school who are more adaptive to that, and they train us. That is my personal experience. So with this few words, I express my gratitude to the Bhavan's group of institutions for giving me this opportunity to express my mind to a very fresh minds who are very open to these kinds of thoughts and who are very active with their imagination and innovative capabilities. So they should open to the world outside, they should open to the society outside, and they should get the adequate and the appropriate kind of information and technology to provide solutions to improve the quality of life of people. And there is no distinction as to where you are a medical professional or a chemist or an engineer or a lawyer or a scientist or a mathematician. It is all one. It is unification of knowledge to provide solutions for mankind. That is how the world is changing, and the way we look at interdisciplinarity, we think of interdisciplinary courses. Even in our engineering programs, we are bringing in large number of baskets of other streams where a mechanical engineer can learn artificial intelligence or computer science or signal processing or computer vision, all such things, which will become very useful for them to help in their career itself. You would have read in newspapers that civil engineers use robots to climb the walls to some innovative robots which have been designed by College of Engineering Trivandrum to assess the health of the structures, the concrete structures that have been built. What does it mean? It means that there's nothing like civil engineering or electronics engineering. A civil engineer uses electronics engineering, computer engineering, and mathematics very, very intelligently to create his solutions. That is how the knowledge acquisition is changing, and that is how the development of professionals need to be changed, and lifelong learning is the norm. What you study today will be obsolete after 3 or 4 years. So you can't be obsolete, because now you will be say 10 years, 12 years, 14 years old. You will have to be providing knowledge to people till you become 75 or 80. Like we have in this gallery itself, we have people who are very old, who are with us, who are talking about the newer and newer technology and advances. Though, so you have to live a number of years ahead, and the pace with which the world is changing will take you along with the changes only if you are a lifelong learner. So be a lifelong learner, and it applies to students, teachers, and whoever it is. And we have this wonderful day, the Youth Day, to have this open and set the expectations. And I would wish good luck for all the efforts of the institution and other sister institutions, and the teachers for their wholehearted support for the initiative that the leadership team is bringing in. And I'm sure with this determination and with this clear direction to move forward, we have a bright future with very innovative and bright kids coming from the schools to the higher education sector, which itself has to undergo reforms and reforms. So research is not something that can be separated from education and solutions. Research is a basic component of these education, and it is a major resource that any solution provider should have, and there is no second place for research in the education sector. With these few words, I conclude this, and I'm very happy to have inaugurated this lab at Eroor campus, and I hope it will be open to other institutions as well, and it will set a model in the state of Kerala with the infrastructure and the culture that this is bringing in. Thank you very much. Good luck. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am, for the motivational speech. I'm sure I
should
speak for
thank you. I should also thank you, ma'am. That was a brilliant, blazing address.
Okay, thank you.
Exceedingly enlightening and intensely inspiring. You have served us with a fine technological nappies. We would certainly like to have you interact very closely with our science teachers, especially our computer department, computer science teachers, and we would like you to inspire and equally motivate them to take their science education to greater heights using technology. Is Jaya ma'am with us now? Jaya ma'am, are you with us? I would request Jaya ma'am to take the initiative further and work on this. Thank you, Dr. Rajeshri ma'am. We have, all of us have, not just the teachers and students, but we in the management also have had huge takeaways. I especially thank you for that.
Okay, can I leave now? Should I
yes,
stay back,
ma'am.
or can I leave?
Thank you, ma'am. I'm Parvati. So nice of you to have spent so much time with us. Thank you, ma'am.
Is it okay if I leave now?
Yeah, I know you are a really very busy person, and we are extremely thankful for you having spent so much time with us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Please excuse me. I can't sit through the whole meeting because.
No problem, ma'am. No problem.
Okay,
I think you have given us enough to ponder over. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
Thanks, Kala. Bye. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have a visual treat showcasing the achievements of our students in the field of science, along with the innovative project presentation of 5 of our students.
We have no wings, we cannot soar, but we have feet to scale and climb. By slow degrees, by more and more, the cloudy summits of our time. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Eroor feels honored and proud to appreciate our students who have enthralled us with their unparalleled achievements in the various competitions related to science and technology in the academic year 2020-2021. We are so proud to have our young scientist Priyansh Nair of class 6 who has bagged the first position in grade 5 in the Junior Scientist National Assessment for Scientific Temperament and Aptitude 2019, organized by CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, National Institute of Science, Technology and Development Studies, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, New Delhi. Our school has been recognized for the outstanding performance in the same. Priyansh has also won the first rank in district level in the Vidyarthi Vidyan Manthan organized by the Department of Science and Technology and NCERT. He has also secured the second position for Scriptura di Storie in Alphabite 2020 and Inter-School Competition conducted by the Department of Computer Science and Mathematics, Vidya School, Tevakil. Devika B of class 9 was selected to the zonal level of space quiz conducted by Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Thiruvananthapuram. In the quiz on National Cyber Security Awareness, hosted by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Niranjan Nambiar of class 8 has secured 70%. Siddharth Ranjit of class 11 was selected to the finals of Agon 2020 quiz conducted by the Department of Metallurgy, Amal Jyoti College of Engineering, Kanjirapalli. He also won the second prize for Science Max Tech Alpha Release Paidrugam quiz in Labyrinth 20.0 organized by Bhavan's Adarsh Vidyalaya, Kakanad. Our students Aditya Chandra Bose of class 10, Akhil Arun and Rohit Eldo Ajit of class 11 secured the first position in Techtivity Labyrinth 20.0 conducted by Bhavan's Adarsh Vidyalaya, Kakanad. Congratulations on your achievements. This is your reward for all the hard work you put in. Enjoy every bit of it because great things are not done by impulse, but a series of small things brought together. ATL Tinkering Lab facilitates projects similar to do-it-yourself projects, where the students are stimulated to apply the knowledge they have gained in the classroom. It not only helps the students to learn real-life application and importance of the theories learned from their books, but also encourages the spirit of innovation through solution-driven design thinking to serve the society. Keeping this in our mind, here we have 5 of our students explore, experiment and experience various innovative projects which will be beneficial for the community. These innovations are the product of their observation on the problems of their surroundings.
Namaste, I am Ishani B. Karun of class 7B. My project is a smart water leak monitoring system. As we pass through roads, we can see that the roads have been puddled because of the broken pipes. Often, the water authorities do not notice this and a massive amount of water gets wasted. My project detects water leakage. Now, let's see how it works. When the water passes normally, a green LED glows. I have attached a pipe to make the leak. When there is a leak, a red LED glows along with a buzzer. The leak is detected when the pressure of the first flow sensor is higher than the second flow sensor. Here I have used flow sensors and an Arduino Uno board. This is a miniature model of the real project. For bringing my project to the society, I would like to add a GSM module so that it sends a message to the water authority, and a GPS can be attached so that the location of the leakage would also be sent along with the SMS. I hope my project is beneficial for the society. Thank you.
Namaste, I am Kirtana V of class 8D and here is my project, Safety Measure for Fuel Tankers. I got this idea when I travel through highways. I have seen many huge fuel tankers passing through, hauling highly inflammable. So I got the idea of installing an automated sensor in the fuel tankers which will detect the other vehicles and make them alert using an ultrasonic sound or beep sound. So let me tell how it works. Here I have used an Arduino Uno board and an ultrasonic sensor. So if the vehicle is in the back side of the fuel tanker, the beep sound will be produced. In my miniature model, I have given 30 centimeter safe distance between the fuel tanker and the other vehicles. So if it comes closer to the fuel tanker, the beep sound will be produced. And at the same time, if the vehicle is over the front, the beep sound will be produced if it passes the safe distance. So I would like to add some more things in my future. I would like to add an LCD monitor in both back and front, which will display that we should maintain safe distance, and also a GSM module and GPS module, which will send an alert to the drivers of the vehicles and the authority. So I hope my project will be beneficial for the society. Thank you.
Namaste, my name is Prashanaya. I'm studying class 8C. As you all know, during the current pandemic situation, we are spending a lot of time in front of screens, and often due to excess screen time, we are facing many eye problems, and also it can also lead to mental disorders. So here today I'm going to present to you my project, which I believe could be a solution to this problem. So this is Optech. So what it does that when we keep our phone too much close to our eyes, it will send a beep by alerting us and suggesting us to keep it in a safer distance like this. So it will tell us to keep it at a safer distance. Also, in the future, I would like to reduce the size of this so it will be reliable to the users and it will make them use it more conveniently. Also, I also want to install a alarming system. So after every 20 minutes, it will send a beep suggesting us to take a break. So hereby, I hope this would help all the techies to have a stress-free environment. Thank you.
Namaste, I am Ayush Rajiv of class 9A. This is my project, Automatic Wild Animal Alarmer. Since last year, the animals died by hitting the train had crossed 32,000, which came as a news article in Hindu newspaper. And this was a very sad news for all animal lovers, including me. And that gave me encouragement to do this project so as to save those animals. So let's move to see how this project works. So as we saw in this, while the animal is about to cross the track, the buzzer will make a beep sound, and the lights will change from green to red. So the loco-pilot in the train will get alarmed that an animal is about to cross the track. So he will reduce the speed of the train, and the vibrator will also vibrate, so as the animal will also get a slight disturbance and it will move back. And if we set up this project in the forest, I am sure that it will save many animals from the death, which will also conserve the animals from extinction. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Pradosh Gopal Krishnan from class 8A, and I am going to present before you an automatic hand sanitizer dispenser. As everyone knows, the whole world is facing a pandemic, and I got the idea of making an automatic hand sanitizer dispenser. Using this machine, people can sanitize their hands without coming in contact with anyone or anything, as the virus transmits by touch. That's good.
I request Dr. Vijay Kumar Ampat, Kendra Committee Member, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi Kendra, to offer felicitation. Sir, please.
Good morning to you all. The President of the meeting, Chairman Venugopal C. Govind, the Chief Guest, Professor Rajashri, Vice Chancellor, KTU, my co-workers, colleagues from Bhavan's family, students and teachers. Let me first of all congratulate the present team of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Eroor School and all previous principals and teachers who initiated this great project and bringing laurels to the Bhavan's family. As I understand, this is the project of Niti Aayog, which was first given to about 1,500 schools all over India. And I'm happy that 3 of them was for Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi Kendra. As a passionate lover of mathematics, which is called the queen of all sciences, there is a saying that science is doing. We cannot appreciate the beauty of science without actually doing it or experimenting it. So we have, fortunately, a galaxy of scientists starting from Sir C.V. Raman, Bharat Ratna Sir C.V. Raman, who got Nobel Prize for scattering theory of light in 1930, followed by Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose, again FRS, who did radio and microwave optics. Satyendra Nath Bose, again a great scientist, fellow of Royal Society London, who is the man behind the Bose-Einstein statistics. Padma Vibhushan M.S. Swaminathan, a great botanist, hailing from Kerala, Mankambu, Alapi, and Indian botanist Janaki Ammal, again from Kerala, and Anna Mani, who was the former Director General of Indian Meteorology Department. So we have a galaxy of scientists, those who are all citizens of India who could be modeled for any science lover or science student. But what is happening, as rightly mentioned by the Vice Chancellor, science is changing. It is not, we don't have old biology, we have a systems biology, evolutionary biology. In the zoology labs, we don't deal with frogs and cockroaches, but we use computers to dissect and analyze various things happening. I was trained to be a mathematics student, but now I am also changing my line of research. I started doing more on brain networks. So brain is a beautiful mathematical object than a physiological object. So the whole idea of science is changing, and it's not enough if we have labs, but we should train the students and teachers to use the labs properly, more creative and innovative, and following the paths of the great scientists that we had, which all should shine well and proud to be Indians as well as a lover of science. Let me stop my dissertations by quoting the great Indian teacher, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, asking the youth to dream, dream and dream, convert dreams into thoughts and later on into actions. So the last part is more important. We have to convert dreams into actions. We can dream, anybody can dream, but the facilities are there provided by the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan and the government of India. So our responsibility is to use it. And I don't know whether this is the occasion to tell this. Dr. Kasturi Rangan had donated to the SRB school in Ernakulam the entire space lab, having equipments and instruments having crores. To my knowledge, this laboratory is closed. Nobody is allowed to enter there because of some silly reasons. So we have to open up our laboratories to neighboring schools, those who are less privileged, and all the science lover students also to the Bhavan's entire Bhavan's family. And I wish the project all success, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Yes, sir. We have with us Srimati Meena Vishwanathan, Academic Consultant, Shikshan Bharati Kochi Kendra. I request ma'am to offer felicitation. Ma'am, please.
Yeah. Members of the Bhavan's family, Namaste to every one of you. I think it's an auspicious day. I would say that what an auspicious day to choose to, get the Atal Tinkering Labs inaugurated, being Swami Vivekananda's birthday. And I'm sure it has been a momentous and fulfilling morning for the principal and teachers of the Bhavan Vidya Mandir Eroor as the Atal Tinkering Labs. Just the inauguration just happened. Congratulations and felicitations in plenty. It's certainly what you have turned a mission of, it's going to be a mission of knowledge enhancement. And lots of good wishes and prayers and plenty from me to everyone associated with the Atal Tinkering Labs. And let the curiosity be kindled. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meena ma'am. May I call upon Srimati Remya Dasas, Vice Principal, Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, Eroor, to propose a vote of thanks. Remya ma'am.
Thank you, Kalamas. Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Rajashree MS, Vice Chancellor, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Chairman of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi Kendra, Sri A. Venugopal C. Govind, Dr. Vijay Kumar Ambat, Kendra Committee Member, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi, Srimati Meena Vishwanathan, Academic Consultant, Shikshan Bharati, Education Officers, Srimati Renuka and Menon, Srimati Sukumari Menon, Srimati Jaya Jacob, Coordinator, Research Wing, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Kochi, Kendra Committee members, members of the Bhavan fraternity, special invitees, teachers and students. Namaste and good morning. This morning dawns a new era in the history of our school and will be written in golden letters in the annals of Bhavan Seru. It is indeed our good fortune to have people of excellence to grace the occasion on this special day. Dr. Rajashree MS, Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, has been extremely gracious to accept our invitation and inaugurate the adult tinkering lab of our school. The thoughts shared by her with our children this morning will inspire them to think differently, try new things, and find solutions to the problems that they will come across in the future. On behalf of all present here, our pranams to you, ma'am, for gracing this occasion and inspiring our children to graduate from tinkerers to innovators and inventors. Our chairman, C.A. Venugopal C. Govind, is a man of ideas who always encourages us to think exponentially, explore alternatives, and create options that did not exist before. Our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for encouraging us to explore and innovate.
Okay.
Our director, Sri E. Ramankutti, inspires us to make the school a second home for our children. In absentia, let me extend our thanks to you, sir, for being our guiding light. Dr. Vijay Kumar Ambat is a person whose zeal and enthusiasm to create scientific temper and cultivate the spirit of curiosity and creativity among young minds is worth emulating. Our deepest gratitude to you, sir, for being here this morning. We are truly indebted to our academic consultant, Srimati Meena Vishwanathan, who provides us with support and guidance in all our endeavors. Thank you, ma'am. Let me place on record a profound appreciation to all the Kendra committee members and stalwarts of the Bhavan's fraternity, whose vision has created a paradigm shift in the educational methodologies adopted in our schools. Thank you all. My deepest thanks to Sri P.N. Appukutan, Chairman of our School Management Committee, principals and vice principals of our sister institutions, special invitees from various schools in the city, and parent representatives for joining us as our children begin their journey to propose novel and innovative solutions to the country's community and social problems. Thank you to the team from Evobi Automations for mentoring and providing all help in prototyping the project ideas. Special thanks to Mr. Vinayak CM, Area Manager, Evobi Automations, and an alumni of Eroor, for whom this project has been close to his heart. Setting an ATL in the Eroor campus was the vision of our former principal, Mrs. Nirmala Venkateswaran. Thank you, ma'am, for igniting the spark. After having taken the reins from her predecessor, our dear principal, Parvati ma'am has taken it forward with perseverance to bring this project to a fruition. Let me take this opportunity to recognize her contribution in making this dream a reality. My sincere thanks to Miss Baby Savitri, Head of the Department of Chemistry, for initiating the process. Our heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Kala S. Pillai, Faculty, Department of Physics, for her relentless efforts, not just in setting the lab, but also in grooming, supporting, and guiding our students. I'm extremely happy to congratulate the teaching fraternity of Eroor for all the help rendered. I would be remiss if I do not express my gratitude to Ms. Kalyani Prasad, our former student who rendered a hand in enhancing the aesthetics of the lab. Thank you, Kalyani. My heartfelt gratitude to all teachers and students whose presence here today has made a difference. Today, being the National Youth Day, let me wind up with a thought of Swami Vivekananda, which would guide us in our journey of tinkering and innovating. Take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerve, and every part of your body be full of that idea. And just leave every other idea alone. This is the key to success. Let this be our mantra as we begin our adventure to create a new India. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ramya ma'am. As we come to the end of the inaugural ceremony of the ATL of Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Eroor, may I quote Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. A dream is not that which you see, let you sleep. With a promise to work hard and transform the dream into reality, we look forward to a new scientific dawn in the portals of Bhavan's Vidya Mandir Eroor. Thank you. Kindly rise.
Good, ma'am. Excellent. Very well organized, very well conducted.